All right, folks. It looks like finally, I'm up and running. I gotta apologize for being late with the stream tonight. Had some unforeseen issues that come up, so pardon the face, didn't get to do that this evening, but that's okay because, well, I'm learning still. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. For everybody that is tuning in, what's up? Good to see you, bro. Thanks for popping in. This is my first Wednesday wind down. I'm not exactly sure what this is gonna kind of be moving forward, but basically, it's kind of like community night. Okay, the goal is to just hang out, talk about maybe what's going on in the world or just in general, something that's not necessarily, tribunal focused, where we have real specific issues that we want to cover, but, just kind of in general talk about gaming news and industry news and entertainment news and trends or things that are popping up or just what's going on with us IRL because, I think it's good to check in with people right now. And I think that, being able to have a conversation and meet and greet and be with people, even if it is just digitally, is really helpful. So it's a wind down. It's going to be real chill. We're going to have some vibes. That's what we're going to be going for. It's going for the vibes. And, maybe we'll do some Q&A things and the like. But, for now, it's growing, morphing, moving, grooving, doing that thing. But I'm really glad to have folks join me for this and help me, decide what this is going to be. Maybe we'll, look at memes and stuff, or maybe we'll just hopefully find some not copy-stricken music to play, and, we'll have that vibe going on and all that kind of goodness. But it's going to grow, it's going to morph, and we'll see what it turns into. But every Wednesday, you'll be able to catch me here on our Twitch channel. The goal is to be here every Wednesday from 7 to 9-ish, just depending upon, like what the vibe is like and what we're going for and all that good stuff. If we got a good conversation, we may be going later than that. If not, we might wrap it up early. But every Wednesday, starting at 7, you can wind down the day with me here on our Twitch channel, and we'll just see what happens. Today, I'm actually going to be doing a reaction video. Hopefully, everything will work the way that I want it to work. We'll just have to see. But the goal is going to be to react to the Ubisoft Forward E3 briefing that wasn't an E3 briefing, but it was like a media thingy that they released. I have not watched it yet at all, and so I am going to be live reacting to the show. I actually have it queued up here. I'm going to be fast forwarding through a chunk of it because I know that a chunk of it was like pre-show, and we don't need to like deal with like the pre-show. We just need to deal with like the show. So we're not gonna like deal with the countdown and all that kind of stuff. But I am gonna live react to the briefing, and I'm gonna be obvious about and honest about what I think and how I'm reacting. So there are gonna be times where you're gonna see me like look over here, maybe like, ooh, that's some stuff, and I may pause it to like talk about what it is that's happening on the screen right then, and then get back to like playing it. So we'll see how that goes. Not exactly sure how it's gonna go. We'll see. But that's gonna be the plan for tonight, and then, depending upon how that goes, we might end it and just, come back to chit-chatting. But for now, I'm going to line this up and make sure that we're not, just sitting in pre-show and all that stuff, because don't nobody need that or the pre-show announcements. We can just get to the show and not, like waste everybody's time on this stuff. So I got us queued up here. Pretty sure I'm at the right point. Yup. So I'm going to let that buffer for a hot second and get a little bevy going. But, for the folks that are watching, right now, and I see you, sis, how you doing? How's life treating you these days? You feeling good? You doing well? Gotta take a sip. Sip. So delicious. I hope that everyone's doing well and that things are good. I'm glad that you're good. I'll give this one more hot second to buffer here before we start. I actually am doing fantastic because I got my taxes filed and I didn't owe as much as I thought I was going to owe, which is always a great place. Typically because I always end up owing because I ain't got no kids, so I ain't got no dependents. I depend on myself. And the government doesn't really let you write yourself off for taxes. So it turns out, who knew? But hope everybody else was able to get their taxes filed on time. I appreciate the extension. I'll say that for sure. Because they were really complex this year. It was no fun. It's surprising how little money you actually have when you kind of have some money for like a hot second. But yeah, that less money than I've had to play in previous years. So I'm really excited about that. And they're all done and for multiple states. And that was like a hectic thing. And my press-on nails came in, so I feel really good because I actually have nails again, which makes me feel really happy because I can't go and get my nails done because, diseases. And I've seen a lot of people referring to it as Backstreet Bro reunion tour, and I think that that's a fun way to talk about it if you can't say the virus because you get strucken down by whatever platform you're talking about it. But basically with the pandemic and everything, I haven't been able to safely go out and about, but definitely very fancy. You got a nice little matte black going on there. Found some really cool creators on Etsy, so I highly recommend if you're looking for some things to pick up to fill your world. Etsy is definitely a good spot to go because you're directly paying creators for their work. And frankly, right now, everybody could use a little bit of that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. I think you know what I'm saying. All right, so I've got everything queued up. I'm going to give this guy a shot using some new tech here. But I'm going to give this guy a shot and see if we get switched over here well. And if so, then we'll be able to start this chat. So let's see. Looks like we're looking good. So let's run tell that, shall we?
This is Ubisoft.
This is Ubisoft Forward.
Explore our worlds.
Meet the devs. See the games.
Join us.
Hi everyone, I'm Neelam Kumar,
right,
and I'm
we're in
very
here.
excited to be co-hosting the first Ubisoft Forward with the talented Yusuf Mageed. Today's show is all about getting up close and in-depth with all the exciting games we have in production here at Ubisoft.
I'm Yusuf, but there's no time to waste. So let's head straight for the streets of futuristic London and see what the hackers of DedSec are getting into.
The illegal paintings spreading subversive and hostile messaging over the last few weeks across London are not the work of several people as was originally believed, but the work
All right, so
of
guys, let me
individual
know. How's the audio?
criminals
Coming through? Sound good?
terrorist group DedSec.
Holler if you hear me.
Authorities recommend not to approach the individual.
First, they came for the foreigners,
Okay.
and I did
So
not speak
here's the
out
deal.
because I was not a foreigner.
I've not been like a big fan of Watch Dogs.
Then
But this
they
is
came
like
for the protesters.
Definitely
I did not
futuristic and
speak
cool.
out because I was not a protester.
Yeah, definitely. No, you don't make that jump, bro.
Then they came for the journalists, and I did not
You don't
speak
make that
out
you don't make that jump, bro.
because I was not a journalist. And then they came for street artists, but I did not speak out because I am not a street artist.
Okay. All right. I mean, this looks insane. This really looks insane. I mean, wow. Okay. Okay.
And I realised that eventually they'd come for me. And there would be no one left to speak for me.
Okay. I mean, here's the thing. You always have me, like, if there's accents with characters, I don't know why, but I'm a sucker for, like, British, Scottish, and Irish accents.
Where are we off to, sir?
So being said,
Sorry, miss. Jesus! All right, so we're in a total mess now, so let's get the hell out.
in London, like, I'm good. I'm good. I don't know if I'm gonna get the game though. You know, because when I played the first game, I really wasn't that impressed, and I didn't finish it. I didn't enjoy it. So I'm hoping that Legion has some different things to offer. Like, than as far as gameplay mechanics from the first game. I mean, I definitely am digging the style.
Resistance. There's a welcome gift for our new members.
Definitely digging the style.
You could have told me it was a bloody costume party.
Try it on.
The new key suspect has been identified
And I think
as
that, like,
David
the digital mask
a
thing is a
43-year-old
nice touch.
London taxi driver. He has no criminal record, but is
Yeah, you
currently
wouldn't
believed to be a terrorist. People have been asked not to approach him. The authorities advise all residents.
Okay. Okay.
I'm Clint Hawking.
Clint has been a longtime creative force here at Ubisoft, and now he's bringing this vision to Watch Dogs Legion.
So yeah, what we just saw was an amazing short film by the director
Like,
Alberto
I'm
Mielgo
not exactly
that
sure.
was inspired by Watch Dogs Legion and looks at the game and the universe and the characters through
That's a
his
short
incredible artistic vision and visual style.
About Legion.
The city needs a resistance.
Like the film, Watch Dogs Legion tells the story
This is
of
actually,
ordinary
like-
heroes setting aside their differences in order to come together as a collective and to
In-game?
fight for a positive change.
I don't know.
You can literally recruit and play anyone who you see in the open world. You profile
Like-
people that are interesting to you, you help them with their problem, you play their origin
Okay, so
mission.
this HUD
Just
is
help
very
me get some
familiar.
closure and I'll
Like,
do whatever you want.
Sounds like a dead
just
sick
like,
problem.
You know, the first
Leave
game.
it to us.
And that's how you recruit them
Again,
into your
loving all the
team. And then they
accents.
become
I'm
the
loving
heroes of the game and,
diversity. I want
and the
her
stars
hair.
of your story.
And what are you doing in my flat? You with Albion?
Okay.
Please, think more underground.
Okay.
You with
Okay.
Albion?
I'm tickled, but think more underground.
Okay.
What, DedSec? Yeah,
I do
right, I'm
like,
Che
you know,
Guevara.
the
You're done.
Different types of
And they make the
folks that
story
can
not only
jump
unique to them,
into
but
Dead
unique
Set.
to you as the player and personal to you because they're heroes that you've chosen and invested in. What would I say to fans? I guess I'd say
I do like the
take care of
character
yourselves, stay safe.
customization, as
Welcome
you
to
guys
the
know
Resistance.
from previous podcasts that we've done. character customization is a big one for us. So
Our London town.
I do think that
A modern metropolis
being able to create
built on history
have
and
more
prosperity.
control over what your
Only took
character
12,000
looks
years to
like
build it up,
and how you play in
and
the
one
game
night to
is
tear
really
it all
important.
down.
And I think, super helpful for a game like this.
Oh my
to be
God.
Successful, right?
Listen up.
The
Get all your
environment
units
is
to
really
move
cool.
in and lock down the city.
With London under attack by a
Okay.
mysterious terrorist,
Like,
the government
really
turns to
cool
a private
environment.
military company called Albion to keep
You know,
everyone
if that's,
safe. What
not
could
FMV,
possibly go wrong?
But actual,
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr.
in-game.
Nigel
That's
Cass,
impressive.
CEO of Albion. He's kindly stepped up to establish order.
Are you gonna be somebody
Understand
that I
this.
don't like?
I will not allow anyone, not even myself, to jeopardize this.
He will stop at
I feel
nothing to
like
permanently
I
control
don't
the
like
city.
you already. I feel like.
London will be the first city in the world to be made truly safe.
Okay.
Nigel's not the only opportunist who's taken a liking to this fair city.
I mean, that's
Meet Mary Kelly, head of the most powerful crime syndicate in London.
okay.
sure
All right. Hi,
spoke the
Mary.
word.
Nice to meet you.
She and her goons are using the dark web to sell everything from party pills to people.
This microchip is scary, I know, but I got to keep tracks on my merchandise, don't I? You made me a slave.
You do not want to ruffle her
Yeah,
feathers.
I could have told you that was gonna be a bad move.
With the city out on its arse,
That was
it now
definitely
falls on you to build a resistance and take back London.
All right, everyone. Faces on,
I mean,
guns
the amount of like
Any of the brave Londoners
different
you see
folks
walking
that
the
you
streets
can come in
can be
and bring
recruited into
your
your team.
legion. I think that's a really interesting
Like him.
mechanic for the game.
Her. Or
And I'm
even
loving the
her.
visuals. I'm absolutely
Everyone could become your
Love it,
next
though.
secret weapon. In our first mission, we need to get some dirt on Nigel
wonder how
Cass,
big,
and
like,
that
the
means
world
breaking
actually
into
is.
Albion headquarters inside the Tower
I
of
haven't
London.
really followed up.
All the
with
hardy
Legion.
souls you see here
I
are
haven't looked
people
at
we
any
have
dev
recruited from the
diaries or
streets of
anything
London.
like that.
They all have unique abilities, and
But it
you're
would be
free to
interesting to
tackle this
see,
mission
like,
with whoever you like.
How big the environment is in the open world.
Get to
that you
work,
go
and
through
let's never talk
like,
about this again.
recruit people from.
Like everyone
Really
in
take
DedSec,
over.
Arthur can hack pretty much whatever. But as a construction
Is
worker,
it
he has a
gonna feel
particular
like
set
there's
of
enough
tools
to
that make
do,
him handy.
or that the world is so big and so vast that it's overwhelming?
He can even
I do
call
think
his
that
own
there's a
cargo
balance you have to
drone.
strike between the two in order for a game to be enjoyable. For
Perfect
a
for
long
gate
period
crashing,
of time.
when you're not invited. And who needs a
And
regular
I
old
would
gun when
imagine
you
that
have
game
a
like
bloody
this probably
nail
doesn't
gun?
have high gameplay value as much as it's just a world that will build upon itself, with DLC and new encounters and probably
Jesus
new
Christ, what
areas
is that
of the
thing?
map that open up over time.
Perhaps we could approach this mission
As opposed
differently.
to a
If you'd
single
rather keep
campaign
your
that you can
distance,
play
we've got
to
you
its end
covered.
and then jump in again and
Amy
up
is
the
a drone
difficulty.
expert,
What have we here?
a real tech
But I don't know. What do you
connoisseur.
think? Like, are you guys? You feeling
Hate spiders, but
Legion?
love this one.
Not feeling Legion? Hit us in the chat.
What an adorable creepy crawler.
Here we are. Let's class the place up.
That's a pretty
A drone
impressive
expert
drone.
does have the unique ability to summon their own drone. This little darling is fast and stealthy.
She aims, she fires, she hits.
Okay.
I'm reading incoming drones.
Okay. Do you have a drone for that?
She can also hack enemy drones,
It
turning the
appears that she
tide in
does.
her favor.
Because you can hack this existing drone.
And if you are not into direct confrontation, there are more ways than one to get the job done.
Okay. I kind of like that. Kind of like that.
Recruiting an Albion officer like Brielle here might be challenging,
Okay.
but it'll get you inside restricted Albion areas.
Nice.
Don't mind me. Just doing recon for a bunch of insurgents.
However,
Right?
do anything
Right?
suspicious
Like
and
a
she'll
elite
probably
old
wind up
lady
with a
posse,
bullet
like,
in the back of her head.
People sleep on the elderly, and you really shouldn't. Like, that could be pretty impressive because nobody suspects.
I can get the defense minister
The
on the
elderly.
line right now.
Well, if you feel you must.
And you should. Hashtag suspect the elderly.
Criminals running
Alright,
our
I think
streets.
the audio now is all working the way that
Illegals
it's supposed to be.
threatening
Holler
our
in the chat
families.
if it's
the police
not.
commissioner himself. Assassinated by terrorists.
Well, that seems to be enough evidence. Next up, we're crashing Mary Kelly's organ farming operation and putting a stop to it.
That's good. The buyers expect high quality stuff.
No,
And we need a hard nut for this.
Impairing our frontal lobe again, are we?
Bags, don't disturb me in my natural habitat.
Say hello to Mickey. The man lives for his team.
That put another hair on my chest.
And doesn't mind getting his hands dirty.
I don't know, like, it could be really fun. I guess, you know, one of the things that I'm not getting from any of this right now is like what pacing is like.
He does have a slight drinking problem, though.
Being in an encounter when you're playing the game, it's an action period of time, and so that's,
You know what?
that's exciting.
Let's
but,
go with
like,
someone a bit more
what's
professional.
the run-up as far as like recruiting people and getting all the information that you need? Because like right now we're jumping from encounter to like encounter.
It's almost crass to call him a hitman.
And which is all well and good, but like, how long does it take to recruit John Wick here? And actually get into this mission.
Some
you know what I
might
mean?
even call him
that's,
an
That's one of the things that I, right now, I'm like asking myself, because I think if the pacing between like when you have a mission or when you're
Here's the
recruiting
bastard
someone
responsible.
or going out with them,
Done and
you know,
dusted.
there's too much
Not bad if I do say so.
downtime between encounters.
Not everyone in London is a legendary assassin or a super spy,
That could really
but
mess
everyone
up
can
the
be a hero.
overall vibe and like fun of the game for like the players. I mean, for me, that was like my main thing that I did.
So get out
like
there,
enjoy
find the best
about
recruits,
the first Watch Dogs game.
and build your
honestly, I didn't play 2, but I really did enjoy.
It's time to
like
take
just how
back
much
London.
just going around the city there was, and just collecting information and like hijacking
Plunging the
little
player
things.
into a living, breathing
And how
city,
much time it took to
teeming
get
with
to, like, a
unique
big
locales and characters,
Like,
has
that-
always been
that
a
wasn't
central pillar
fun
of the
at
Watch
all.
Dogs series.
So what goes into building those worlds? Here's Amanda Munt to tell us more.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
My name's Amanda Munt. I'm a level artist on Watch Dogs Legion at Ubisoft Toronto. Being a level artist, I think, is the coolest job in video games because we do get the freedom to kind of like pick and choose what
Nice to
little
meet you, Amanda.
details
What's up?
we
What's
want
up?
to
How you
depict,
doing?
and
What's up?
we get ample opportunities to tell the stories that we want to tell in the spaces that we're
I mean,
assigned
these
to.
environments are absolutely
I have the
stunning.
capacity to hide things and, you know, like small little Easter eggs. In AC Unity, there was a boat somewhere in the world that was covered in cats.
Okay,
And then
I mean,
it happened again in Watch Dogs 2.
Cute
And
with the
there may
cat
or may
boat,
not be
but
something in
let's
London
not
that
bring
is
up
a boat
Unity.
filled with cats in some capacity. So I was fortunate enough to go to E3 last year. Some of the people that I was showing our demo to were from London. So no matter where I dropped them in the city, they would go, "Oh my God, this feels like Camden.
Okay.
You know, this feels
Holler
like
at me,
Suffolk.
let me
This
know
feels
if
like
the,
Westminster."
audio is
when people are talking about
better
some
now.
detail that I've put into the world and they're excited about it. Like that feels so good as somebody who
I
you know,
think we
builds these
have
worlds with care.
achieved
I love it.
equilibrium. Shout out for the heads up. All right, Brawlhalla. What's up? What's up?
And now
Great
some
game.
news
Great
for
game.
Brawlhalla fans. In just a few weeks, you'll be able to battle it out with your favorite legends on iOS
Yeah.
and Android devices.
Okay, okay. Brawlhalla, iOS, and Android for you Android folks out there. I rock the iOS. That's how I be living.
3, 2, 1.
Okay. I do think that this game is like one of the games that a lot of people slept on, to be honest. Like, Brawlhalla is crazy fun. Like, crazy fun. crossplay with everybody is always the best way to go. Put crossplay in your games. Just, you know, for any developers listening, crossplay, always crossplay. Okay, cool. Definitely super fun game, super fun, just multiplayer brawler. If you haven't checked out Brawlhalla, definitely do. That's cool to see it come to iOS. Because I have a controller that I can use with my phone. Okay, Might and Magic. Not necessarily my bag, but much respect. I haven't played Might and Magic in forever, or really card-based game in a long time. And any of you who ever listened to the audio podcast that I did with Pandalicious there in the chat, the S-Cash, you know that turn-based games, it takes a lot to get me to play one on any platform. It's not my bag. But I am always a big fan of more rich games coming to mobile devices.
The target is being held on the ground floor.
Alright, what do we got here? Bullets! We got bullets. Why does this feel like Fortnite type character design to me? You took a bullet. Just in case. Okay. That's a big blow up. That's a good shot. That's a damn good shot. Oh, that's rude. That's rude.
Target northeast
rooftop. Just.
Roger. Inbound. Danger close.
That's a boom.
EMP imminent.
Okay. That's a problem for you guys. Oh, look at that.
Get back in your cell.
No, Sam Fisher? Or are those just goggles like Sam Fisher's?
Hey, take this.
Don't make me regret this.
Okay. I don't know what I just watched. But
speaking of Tom Clancy, it's been 5 years since Rainbow Six Siege first launched, and the community has never been
that
stronger.
like
In celebration of this
Siege
milestone,
Light?
Ubisoft Montreal has put together a special video to thank all of the amazing
I
players
don't know what
and
that was.
developers
I don't
that helped
know.
Siege become the game it is today.
If you have any idea what it is, like, let me know. Because I don't know what that was. Like, I have no clue. I wish I was better at this game.
In December 2015, a small team released Rainbow Six Siege.
I love Rainbow Six Siege. I think that it is an absolutely fantastic game.
Creativity,
I just
competitiveness,
absolutely am hot trash in the game. A big piece of that on a personal level is just by the time that I started playing the game, people had already been playing it for a while, so they were very familiar with the maps, so it's a very steep ramp curve to try to get up to their level, so that does eat like a bunch of the fun out of the game. But like, if you're looking for like a really great team co-op shooter, I don't know anything better than Rainbow Six. I really don't.
But we also had our share of challenges.
You got challenges? What is your challenges, though?
Connectivity, all those aspects are absolutely critical to the experience of the player.
Through it all, we're
Panda,
driven
straight
by you,
hot,
our community.
flaming garbage.
Together, we grow stronger.
Hot flaming garbage.
There is no sequel plan, and we're here for the next 10 years, so expect more Rainbow Six in your life for quite some time.
Yeah. I mean, seriously. I gotta get back into it, man. You know, and find some friends to play with, because I miss playing it.
Tous les succès,
But
c'est vraiment le résultat de autant
Siege
de nous
is
que de vous. Ce jeu, il est
really
autant le vôtre qu'il est le nôtre, nous, l'équipe de développement.
the best.
Now 60 million players strong.
I wish that
We're
had
just getting
subtitles, because
started.
I don't speak French.
From the devs that build the game to the community that plays it.
Yeah, straight up.
Thank you.
Snaps for all y'all. That's really nice, Ubi. But seriously, snaps for everybody.
If you haven't tried it yet, dive into our new Operation Steel Wave
So,
update available
just
now.
real quick,
and
every
take
time
Jason
they
Malusi
bump
out first.
to Neelam, which I think
A
is
few
great,
days ago, we introduced
the way
y'all
that
to a
they
brand
crop
new
like
multiplayer
her
shooter.
background,
Now, it's time to venture into the
whenever I
hyperscape.
look at the Ubi logo, it kind of looks like the Target logo. Please tell me that I'm not the only person that sees that. Oh, wait. Mirrors. No, that's EA. What are we doing here?
What was that? A hack in a hyperscape. That's not supposed to be there.
Okay, she's cool.
Let me get you all up to speed, okay?
I mean, that facial
About
animation
30 years
is
ago,
dope.
Everything that we feared about our future started to come true.
Okay.
We made some good decisions.
What's up, Hyperscape?
We made some bad decisions. Actually, we made a lot of bad decisions. So
Was that VR on a couch?
10 billion souls living in the crush of the megacities.
Okay.
But the people at Prisma changed everything.
Really? That's usually not a good thing.
They gave everyone a way out. The hyperscape.
So Ready Player One?
By far is Crown Rush. This is where anyone can become someone.
Oh no, it's more Battle Royale. Oh no. Oh no. Now look, I'm not trying to poo-poo Battle Royale. I know that it does really well, and like everybody well, let me not say that. A lot of people like it, but I'm not one of those people.
It can change your life.
And that sucks because the character models look really cool. But
rumors of people getting hurt.
I'm not a Battle Royale girl, man. I'm just not.
A darker secret lies at the heart of Hyperscape. And we have to find it. Some of us are searching for a way up. Some of us for a way out. And for others,
okay, I like, you know, trying to like
that's what
position this as a thing that
to the hyperscape,
you know, has a story, but
I'm JC, creative director on Hyperscape.
Please God, have a campaign
JC's
mode,
work on Far
because
Cry
otherwise
and multiple Prince of Persia titles has established him as a top creative here at Ubisoft.
It's not for me,
what's
bro.
exciting is we started building it from scratch, seeing it grow, adding ideas is really cool.
Love that shirt though.
Hello, contender. Welcome to the Hyperscape.
The game takes place in 2054.
Okay.
It's in a future where humanity has grown a little darker.
See, that's an acceptable throw.
They are launching what's called the Hyperscape, which is a virtual world and the internet of the future. It's the place where everything converges.
All right.
Within the virtual world, there is a battle royale that takes place in the virtual city of Neo Arcadia.
Yeah, battle royale. I get it. I mean, I like the digital gun animations.
Then we also introduce a lot of new things. You
Those are
get
cool.
the opportunity to do parkour on the rooftops, to go into interiors where it's much more narrow, much more
Definitely
stressful.
hardcore
You get to
parkour.
go to the landmarks where there's more opportunities to get cool items, but
Okay.
also more players, so it's a risk-reward kind of deal. We introduced the notion of hacks, special abilities that you can pick up on the
Okay.
fly to adapt your tactics. With hacks, you can do things like teleport yourself, you can wrap yourself into a ball and bounce
the
around
hack
the battlefield.
idea, the
So a
perks,
lot of
basically,
abilities that let you have fun, that
on
are toys
field.
that you can play with.
It's a cool addition.
And finally, it's made as a spectacle, so all the viewers will be able to interact with the game on different levels through the Twitch extension. So every few
Really?
minutes, there's going to be a vote, and viewers will be able to decide what effect they want to affect the whole battle. So things
Okay.
like changing the gravity,
That's cool.
infinite
That's
ammo,
cool.
or stuff like that. So players, while this happens, really have to adapt to all kinds of stuff that is happening.
The ability to have built into
For me,
Twitch
it's really
viewers
exciting because right
having
now,
the
as we
ability
speak,
to
we're
mess
launching
with the
open beta,
game
and
in
so
real
it's gonna be
time
available
and affect
for,
the
free to
play,
play for all
that
PC
is really
players
cool.
worldwide. And I really want to thank all the players, all the streamers, and all the viewers who participated in tech test and who will participate in the open beta. Here's a short glimpse of what you can expect.
That's an interesting mechanic. Straight interesting mechanic.
Watch and learn how it's done. Perfecto.
Showtime.
That's mine.
And it definitely seems fast paced.
Let's show them what I'm made of. Go time.
But it'd be really interesting, you know, I think as a spectator, to watch folks playing this game.
Watch close.
I am going to let my little bit of a elder statesman when it comes to gaming here through. It's really hard for me just to focus like on this trailer of who's doing what and whatnot. So actually being able to keep up with the gameplay, I don't know.
The digital world of the Hyperscape gave our artists and developers
do kinda like
incredible freedom when
that
it came
there's
to
not the
designing characters.
fight and
Production
build
manager Anna
aspect,
Maria
right,
Musca
that you
is
have
gonna
going
take us
on in
behind the scenes of
Fortnite,
character
because that's one of the
design.
reasons why I don't play that game. It's simply because
My name is Anna Maria Musca.
I
I'm the
can
production
build
manager
or
for characters
shoot.
and
I
weapons
can't
on
build
Hyperscape.
and shoot. That's my limitation.
We
I
have
own
paid
that.
an exceptional amount
But I'm
of
just
detail
saying.
to our characters. We
Just
switch
saying.
different outfits, different fashion statements, different tattoos, different materials until we see them as real individuals, as real people. So the second
That's
you pick
really
a
cool.
character, you see them in game, you understand what their motivations are and what drives them and what challenges them. This was the first
I
lineup
really
of
like
characters. This is our default base, but even starting from the
The
hair
character
down, everything has
design.
been meticulously thought of. Would this person actually like this type of outfit? Would this person enjoy the type of tattoos that we're putting on them? Will they actually like to be in this body?
I think that that's a really good
to
methodology
produce new
for
outfits
like
these characters.
creating
So we're hoping
characters.
Some of our players are gonna
You know, not
see
just
the effort
does
and
the character
maybe
look
even
cool and
correlate
am
some
I
of the
happy,
accessories to
but
what's gonna happen.
given who this is supposed to
I'm
be,
very excited to see it in people's hands.
is this what they would like? Is this what they would want? That's a
As we
really
move into
cool
the next generation
angle
of
to come
gaming,
at character
Ubisoft has
creation
been
from.
working closely with console makers to
Snaps,
take advantage
Ubi,
of
snaps.
all the extraordinary capabilities these new consoles will offer.
Now we have a special guest to tell us a little more.
Swear to God, that's the Target
Hey
logo.
everyone, Phil Spencer from
Phil! What's up,
With Watch
Phil?
Dogs Legion, Ubisoft is supporting smart delivery.
Okay.
So you will get the absolute
All right.
best version of the game on any version of Xbox you're playing on.
Nice,
In
nice.
Series
I
X,
appreciate.
You'll get to take advantage of the amazing work the team has done with
Hashtag
DirectX ray
appreciate.
tracing to create an absolutely immersive version of London like you've never seen before. Ubisoft has a
Well, it'll
unique
be interesting
ability
to see
create
exactly
immersive
what that
worlds,
turns out to be, because,
setting a new bar
you know,
that
for anybody
continues
watching
to
the
drive
stream,
our industry forward.
Microsoft is going to be having
I'm a huge
their
fan
digital
of
experience
Assassin's
on the
Creed.
23rd.
I love the time I've spent.
I'm probably going to
exploring
react to that
Assassin's
live
Creed
as it's happening as well
I
on the
can't
channel.
wait for you to
So
see the
bear
gameplay
with me.
from
Make sure that you're
Assassin's Creed
tuning into our
Valhalla
social
that's coming up
on
now.
Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Black and Pat.
We know you've been waiting to hear more about this game since it was announced back
Smart
in
delivery,
April.
I think, is just a really
And
good
now it's
move.
time for a deep
Like,
dive into the world of
seriously and for real,
My name is
just
Julian
whatever
Afghani,
box
I'm
that
the
you
producer
have
of
when you
Assassin's
buy a
Creed
game,
Valhalla. So a couple
if
of
that
weeks ago, we
same
announced
version is coming
Assassin's
out
Creed
on the
Valhalla,
newer
and the
console,
reaction from the fans
you got
was
it.
just
And
amazing.
you don't have
The
to
time
re-buy
period
the
of
game. That's just
Vikings
smart.
is
It's just smart.
really inspiring.
And no pun
When
intended.
we did our research, we found that, they were not mindless barbarians.
Now, see here.
Vikings were actually farmers trying to find new lands for them to settle. And so they had really
I'm of two
human
minds on this game,
motivations.
guys.
So for us to
I
have this
love
opportunity
the
to
Assassin's
tell
Creed
kind of the
franchise.
real story
I
about Vikings
love
and kind of
Assassin's
separate
Creed.
ourselves from
I
the
even
myths
forgave
and the
Assassins
folklore
1
is really
after I
something that
played
drove us
Assassins
to
2.
make this game. The team went to Norway and England
But, like,
to take the same roads that the Vikings did to really
we keep going
experience
back
what it meant to be a Viking at that
with the
time.
game, right? Like,
And then leaving
we killed
Norway,
Desmond,
which is
and then
barren
since
but
then it's just
majestic,
been
and
okay.
just
Well, let's go
coming
to like
by
the group
boat
right
in
before
England
the
and see
assassins that
those
actually
rolling
created the
hills full of
assassins
sheep,
and the
full of
Templars
life.
and play as them.
It's just
Okay,
this
now let's go
moment
before
that
them.
Most likely the Vikings felt as well. You need to see this land of
To
opportunity.
the Vikings.
And this is exactly the feeling we want players to experience in this game.
I already thought that Odyssey was a
It
stretch
is a
going
personal
to
adventure. It is
Greece.
the story of Eivor, a Viking chieftain. Eivor is either a male or a female. You decide when you start the game.
But
They will have to leave Norway to settle in England because you just can't live in Norway anymore. There's too much political pressure, no resources available.
like, don't get me wrong, the looks absolutely beautiful, and I'm gonna
Obviously,
play
in
it.
England, it's full of
Like a
Anglo-Saxons
lot.
and other people.
I'm gonna play it a
and they
lot.
don't really want you there, so you will
But
have to
can we-
fight your way there
can we
to kind of
finish
build your own settlement and see
forward
your clan prosper.
Assassin's franchise, because like, does Juno win, guys?
Vikings
Does
were
she?
brutal
I don't know.
warriors.
Man, that's pretty.
And the fact that they were mastering a lot of weapons coming from
Whoa.
the medieval times really inspired us to kind of revamp the fight system. To
Yeah.
leverage the brutality and the intensity of Viking combat.
Yeah, it's gotta be brutal.
Vikings
Definitely
were not
gotta
only
be brutal.
fighting face to face. They were masters of stealth and deception when needed. They used basically any sort of tactics they could use to win the battle. So we want to portray the full range of combat that you can imagine coming from the Vikings.
I dig that, but like how? Right? Like why does he
We
have
are
a hidden
very
blade?
happy to
Why?
finally be able to show you the game we've all been working on. So please enjoy
Somebody
this
tell
deep
me
dive
why.
into Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Can we please go forward? Please? Pretty please? Don't get me wrong, it looks absolutely stunning.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla. You will relive the
I mean,
epic
that
saga
lightning,
of the
bro.
Viking invasion of England.
That lightning, though. Holy mother.
You play as Eivor, a Viking from Norway, who will lead his or her battle-hardened warriors across the North Sea to the
Definitely
British
will be a
Isles.
her in my game.
Eivor is driven by
Definitely.
an ambitious goal to build a thriving Norse settlement in a hostile land.
For the good of our clan, it is time we go a Viking.
Okay.
Today we raid, that tomorrow we may build.
England is a dark age tangle of broken kingdoms and warring dynasties, a land of opportunity and riches.
I mean,
As you prowl England's rivers by long
one thing
ship,
that the
we
Assassins
relocation to
franchise has
spot
definitely
shore.
gotten right is
Round your ship,
boat
blow your
battles
horn
and
to lead
travel.
your raiding crew into battle.
Okay. That's definitely brutal. Most def. That house is on fire.
Your crew will
I like
assist
that
you
you
in
can
all your
revive
raids,
your
fighting
crewmates.
enemies,
That's an
battering
interesting
down doors,
mechanic, so that you're not
and
battling
stealing
by
cargo
yourself.
too heavy for one set of arms. Whatever riches and resources you pillage may be used to develop your settlement, giving you access to useful services, better
Alright,
tools,
so
and new
we are
settlers.
once
At the
again
heart of your settlement is the Alliance map.
building up our
It will serve as a
city,
record
in this
of the
case
allies
settlement,
you've made, and a
which
guide
is
for
one of the
future
things that I did enjoy in
The Viking
Brotherhood
Age was a
and
time of warriors and legends.
earlier
In
games.
Valhalla, you will find the
My
largest
Piazza
variety
was
of enemies
dope.
ever assembled in an Assassin's Creed game.
That was a lot of blood, and if you lost that much blood in a
Every
single strike, you
archetype
would be dead.
offers a unique challenge. Some will coordinate with their allies for special attacks, while others will use nearby objects to their advantage,
Okay.
including the bodies of fallen warriors. To
That's
face these attacks,
that's
you
interesting.
must find and exploit your opponent's
Smack
weaknesses
that bitch with
to
another
gain the
bitch.
upper hand.
Okay.
Take the fight to your foes with a host of brutal new combat abilities. Snare them with the
Is
Viking
that
harpoon.
legit a get over here move?
Pummel them with throwing axes.
Again, I'm gonna play the
with a new
game,
stun system to
but
keep them at a distance
like,
or finish them off.
oh, yep, okay.
Dual wield any two weapons you wish to unleash
Okay.
a deadly combination of attacks.
Dual wielding is nice. I'm always a fan of that.
Customize your fighting style as you see fit. and
I
become
don't
a
know that I would
legendary
dual
Viking
wield
warrior.
shields. But that's interesting. That's interesting. It's an interesting
All
concept.
combinations of weapons are available to dual wield, including 2 shields.
I mean, I might have to take that comment that I made about dual wielding shields back. I
Not
might.
all situations
Let's
call
take it
for
back.
violence. In this new land, a
Oh,
Viking will
good.
find
I
ways
can be
to
a stealth Viking because that
As
doesn't
Eivor
stick
is
out like a
well
thumb
known
at
in
all.
You may need to outsmart your enemies.
That's a
avoiding
lot of
unusual
bulky bulk.
attention in towns and bustling cities. Use Eivor's hood and cloak to blend with crowds and slip past watchful eyes. An unseen hunter
Okay.
among the people.
I am glad to see that like stealth is not completely abandoned.
capital cities
Because I wasn't really
and
sure like
to the dense
in a
forests
Viking
and rolling
game like
hills
how
of
you could do
England.
it. And
Exploration
Valhalla
is
is one of the
keeping
games
yourself
that
sharp.
I have
must
known
feed off
about
the land
before
you
this
hope to
briefing
endure.
because Yubi's been promoting the
Hunt and
ever
forage to
loving
replenish your health
out of it,
before
and
fire
rightfully
quickly.
so. I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous, and
Search
you
pagan
just messed
temples
that
and Roman
wolf
ruins for new
up.
activities and challenges to strengthen yourself and your settlement.
Okay, gotta
The
get
more
that
you
loot.
explore, the more of England's secrets you will reveal.
Ravens, show no mercy!
But as you push deeper into
I
England,
mean,
the enemy will push back. In a series of climactic moments, Assassin's Creed Valhalla will feature massive assaults in which you
Okay.
lead Eivor's army into battle against
I don't know, man. Like
heavily
that's a
Saxon
tough one.
fortresses.
That's it. That's it.
We will reclaim her. Today we fight for your land, and tomorrow we rebuild.
I mean,
Assassin's Creed Valhalla will transport you to wondrous, haunted lands, inspired by Norse myths and England's pagan roots.
I don't know. I gotta reserve judgment on this one, guys. I mean, again,
Unforgettable
I'm
characters,
gonna get it.
thrilling triumphs,
Gonna get it.
and tragic
I'm
losses,
gonna play.
giving you the chance to live your own Viking saga.
But you know, like, oh, he's definitely dead. But I guess I'm just, I don't know if it just feels so super dense, you know? Like, that's one of the things that Odyssey really felt like to me. I do love the logo, though. That is dope. Dope logo.
9th century England is truly
But
unlike
I don't know.
anything the franchise
It
has
felt
seen before.
overwhelming because there were so many
Assassin's
things to
Creed
do.
Valhalla will release this holiday season
And
on
I'm
Xbox
afraid
Series X,
that
PlayStation
Valhalla's
5,
in the same
Xbox One,
boat.
PS4, PC, and Stadia.
But it's
We're close
gotta
to
be on
wrapping up
everything.
today, but before we go, our CEO, Yves Guillemot, is here to share a few words.
But I don't.
I hope you will have enjoyed what you have seen today, and that you will love playing these games. I'm proud of our teams for delivering an ambitious, broad, and creative lineup of games. And we haven't shown you everything yet.
Yeah.
In fact, we have a lot more to come.
Yeah.
So you will
But you
have
just said-
another Ubisoft Forward to reveal even more about our upcoming games. But before
She just said
ending
that
this
we're
show,
wrapping it up.
we have one more thing to share with you.
Okay. That's a very Steve Jobs thing to do. Is that a gator? Giancarlo Esposito? What? You have my attention. Oh, is this a Far Cry game? This is Far Cry, isn't it? It's a Far Cry game. In Cuba? I was thinking of the classic car and the cigar, so I'm thinking Cuba? I don't know who some of these names are, but I know Giancarlo, and he can act his ass off. And there he is! Oh, and he's on the gold bar. Oh, that means he's a bad man. That means he's a bad man. What are they spraying for? That can't be no kind of good. Yeah, he's a dictator. Uh-oh. Wait, is this the title sequence for the game? Say it. Yep, it is Far Cry. Okay. Oh. I mean. Okay. Alright, I'm trying to keep.
It's beautiful, Nico.
Yo.
Perfect, but useless. I have something for you, Diego. Give me your hands.
That mocap is real good. Why? That is not the gift that you give to your child.
It has 4 basic parts. The shell, which contains the explosive. The fuse.
I'm just saying right now, as a parent, don't give your kids grenades. Don't do it.
What are you doing?
And definitely don't pull the pin. What the hell?
The pin simply holds the handle in place. It is only
Are you trying to kill your kid?
that this grenade goes boom.
Oh, we go boom right now. I would wet myself and follow you. Dude, I'm not moving from the chair. Get the pin.
I am El Presidente, which means you will be El and our people. They do not know how to be happy. They are torn apart by opinions.
Are you sure they're not torn apart by grenades that you give to children?
By their own freedoms. And even if you have love in your heart, even if you want what's best for them.
Oh, he is a very bad man.
From themselves.
He is a very bad man. Oh, man.
They will hate you, Diego. Everything you say,
I mean,
believe, will be wrong.
yo. That would have been death right there. Oh, legit. Giancarlo Esposito. Okay. Okay.
A monster.
Oh, what are we doing with this grenade? Yo, what are we doing with this grenade? Guys, what are we doing with this grenade?
So you tell me, are you evil?
No, I'm not. I mean, if I drop that grenade on those people, I might be. Yo.
Country is like this grenade, except it has two basic parts. People.
Yo.
And you must clutch them nice and tight, or we all go boom.
I'm gonna drop this grenade, aren't I? Look, dude, I'm not even playing the game, and I'm. Oh no. No. You don't do this to your children, people. Oh no. Oh shit. Okay, I see you, February. Okay. I mean, well...
And with that, we're wrapping up our first Ubisoft Forward.
I mean, that's the way to drop it, like it's hot.
The birth of a resistance in Watch Dogs Legion, the cyber chaos of Hyperscape, and the epic reveal of Far Cry's newest installment, along with so much more.
Remember, we'll be back later this year with another Ubisoft Forward filled with tons of game news and updates.
Thanks for joining us.
Okay. All right. I mean, I'll give you guys that. Okay. And some gameplay from Assassins. All right.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Ubisoft.
All right. I give you that, but I gotta be honest. I don't. Let's see. I mean, so here's the deal, right? Because where to start? Well, I'll be honest, right? The most exciting thing, the thing that made like the biggest reaction out of me was the Far Cry game, which I didn't know that there was a new Far Cry game. I suspected that, you know, with Ubisoft doing any kind of E3 like media briefing, that we would probably have and see, you know, more of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, because it is a flagship franchise for them. Definitely a Far Cry and something in the Tom Clancy universe, because those are really strong IPs that they have. So those kinds of things are to be expected. I didn't expect to be as interested in the Far Cry game as I am. And a big piece of that is really due to Giancarlo Esposito being involved and what feels like a really interesting story. And that's one of the things that I always like to give Far Cry like credit for, is that outside of like Primal, which I really didn't get, and that's just me, my personal opinion, I didn't get it. But I have felt that, you know, many of the Far Cry games, you know, 5 had a really interesting story. I do think that there are some places where it kind of fell flat, but overall what it was trying to achieve and what it was trying to get out, I think, you know, they did a really good job with that. I do think that some of the areas, the gameplay wasn't as tight as it needed to be. My game at one point became completely unplayable on my Xbox because for some reason I couldn't run. Like nothing I did would allow my character to move fast. And in a game where at times you need to be a little sneaky and at other times you really need to run or like get in a getaway vehicle and the vehicle goes as fast as people walking, so you just get caught and shot. it just became unplayable, and I had to wait really for a long time for an update to actually come for the game that fixed it, that I had moved on to other games. So I never finished the story on stick on the game. I ended up watching some streamer, I can't even remember who it is now, this is so long ago, actually finished the game because I wanted to know how the story ended. And, you know, I still think that Voss, which was the big bad in 3, is probably one of the best written villains in a game. And Pagan Min is just a delight to watch if you're just slightly twisted like I am. But, you know, Valhalla I already knew about. Legion, it was nice to get some more in-depth on it. I'm warming up to it more because of this stream than before, because most of the media coverage that I've seen really focuses more on the engagements and didn't go as deep into like the characters and the character creation. I would have liked, and hopefully that'll come really soon, maybe it's in dev diaries or content that they put up on the website, but I'd really like to get a better understanding of actually how the game plays and the pacing, because that's the thing I have a concern about. And I think, you know, it's a valid concern to have when you have these big open sandbox kind of worlds. If you haven't figured out a way to line the player up so that they're not just kind of always fluttering in the wind or overwhelmed by how many things that they could do, you know, you really do need to create the structure and then give them the ability to follow it or not, but you definitely need to line them up to move them forward from engagement to engagement, to give them a reason to be in the world and to want to do the grindy things on the side so that they have more abilities when they move into an encounter. And if you don't build that structure, or if you don't clue a player into the grindy things that you do will help you when you go to do this encounter, and this next encounter that's coming up, you'll want these skills or those kinds of things. If you don't find an interesting way to take the player through that isn't just leading them through the nose, because players don't really like that, then you end up having a game that has pacing problems. And I think that a lot of times when players abandon a game, it's because of pacing problems, not necessarily because of mechanics, because we've all struggled through games with bad cameras, right? And we've all struggled through games that, like, the timing is a little bit off on, you know, the reaction of the character versus when I'm actually doing something on stick. And you work your way around it. If the play is fun enough and the story is good enough, you'll figure out solutions around those things and continue to play the game, and you'll continue on, you know. And so I'm just curious, because I don't have a clear understanding yet of whether or not this game suffers through that problem or not. And that's a big hurdle that you gotta clear with me in order for me to pick up this game, is that I really need to feel like there's not a pacing problem. Because as I said, it's the main reason why I didn't complete Watch Dogs 1, the original game, because the world was just so big, and I spent, you know, like 3 hours my first playthrough just walking around and just surveying people's information, and ended up, you know, stopping one guy from like mugging a person, but I couldn't figure out initially like what my big encounter was. I had the ability to hack these pylons to come up when I was crossing one street and there was a speeding car that a cop was chasing, but that didn't really feel like an encounter. And so I got about 6 hours into the game and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. And if I'm 6 hours into a game and I'm at that point, I'm just like, I'm out. And that's what happened. And because of that experience with Watch Dogs 1, I never picked up 2. And I didn't play it. Now, I heard from a lot of my friends in the industry that 2 was better than 1. and that they had fixed some of those pacing problems and the way that they built up DedSec and all those things that were in the game, you know, kind of addressed some of those things. But I had such a bad experience with the first one that I wasn't really all that excited to jump into the second one. I'll say honestly, I don't know that I'm going to pick up Watch Dogs 3. I'm definitely going to research it more because of this briefing. And I'm just going to call it a briefing because I don't know what else to call it. But I don't know that I'm going to pick up the game. I'm definitely not going to pre-order it. I'm probably not going to pre-order Valhalla. I'm just going to pick that up. But I was so surprised by Far Cry. I might pick that up. I just might pick that up. If I do, maybe it'll be a game that I stream here on the channel. But that one really caught my interest. You know, the homage and the thank you message to the Rainbow Six community, I thought that was really sweet, and I like that they took some time to focus on that and to just clearly put the flag out there that, like, hey, this isn't a 3-year or 5-year plan game. Like, we're just going to keep building this world out and keep adding on to this. I think that Siege is one of those games where, like, yeah, we don't need a Rainbow Six Siege 7. Like, or, yeah, a Rainbow Siege 7. It's like, see, I even said the name wrong because, like, 6 is, like, really all you need. You just need to keep building that world and those experiences. And I think that that's great, but that's nothing new, right? And so I, like, overall, like, I'm kind of underwhelmed. Like, not for nothing, Ubi. And I know that you said you're gonna have another one of these things later in the year, and that's great. You know, if you want to do these and get regular, like, the Nintendo Treehouses, that's cool. But, like, I've been waiting on Beyond Good and Evil now. We have all been waiting on Beyond Good and Evil now for quite some time. And I do mean quite some time. Nothing? Nothing. You're going to give me nothing on Beyond Good and Evil. Like, that's rude. I thought we were friends. But nothing on that. At all. You know, and the Hyperscape thing, I think it's an interesting addition to the Battle Royale genre. That's not my space. That's not a place that I play. It's not a place that I enjoy. Personally. I think that it's really interesting, and if any of you guys are jumping in right now to the beta that's available on PC and playing it, hit us up. Slide into the DMs on Twitter or IG, or hit us up on our Facebook page. You can message us directly on the page, and like, let me know if I'm missing something. But I do think that Battle Royale is really hard to crack into right now, because Fortnite has really just, like, owned that space. Like, I can't think of the last person that's actively gaming or works in the industry covering games talking about playing PUBG. And PUBG used to be it before Fortnite actually hit. Like, everything was PUBG. And PUBG Mobile. And oh my god. Even with all of its issues. Which it still has some issues. And then Fortnite came and just ate its Christmas. And that's not to say that there shouldn't be room for many, many things in the genre. But I do think that it's going to be hard to capture a chunk of that audience unless you do have some new mechanics, some new style. You know, the 99 player thing is really cute. The thing that I do think that is very interesting is the Twitch edition that they're adding built in, so that if you're streaming the game on Twitch, or you're as an audience member watching somebody stream, that has this plugin turned on, that you'll have the ability as a whole audience to like vote on what effects should happen to the level at different points and affect the game, I think is really cool. You know, it's one of the things, pour a little bit out for the homie Mixer, you know, really strive to do, which I do think is something that makes the whole stream do their thing interesting, is the interactivity and allowing the viewer to in some way participate in what they're seeing happening on screen. I think is a really great interactive mechanic to add to a game, as long as it doesn't, you know, completely break things for the player, right? Like, I don't think it's smart to give the audience a way to completely take a win or victory, especially after hard work for a player. But if you can put in, you know, some support or some obstacle that still is surmountable, but not like sudden death, I think that can be really interesting, because it's interesting to me to think about, you know, in that kind of space, you know, is your community or the community hive mind in general going to be more supportive than it is objective? You know, that would be a really interesting mechanic. So I think that that's cool. I also think, you know, the mechanic of adding the perks, they call them hacks, in the level that give you extra abilities, I think that that's an interesting thing as well, because then it really does make it a little bit more about exploring more to find weapons, but also to find perks that balance with your style of play against the horde that you're fighting. So those are interesting, but I absolutely won't be playing the game. I'm not going to say never, because you should never say never, but it's highly unlikely that I play that game, because again, Battle Royale just isn't my jam. But I do think that for everybody that enjoys it, and, you know, for the folks that are really good at it, like, more power to you. I have so much respect and adoration for you guys, because that's just not my bag. I don't have the dexterity nor the ability to chime and watch things as well. But I don't know, like, overall, I just wasn't like, take my money. And that's kind of where I usually like to be at the end of a briefing, anybody's briefing that I watch. You know, when we're talking about what's coming for the holiday, and we're talking about really the end of the year, like what should be smorgasbord of things to get excited for, the stuff to put on my list and ask Santa for Christmas and whatnot. There's not a lot in here. You know, I've got Valhalla coming in November. The Far Cry game comes in 2021 in February, so that's a real forward-looking one. And Brawlhalla has been out for a very long time. The addition of it on Android and iOS is nice, but it's not a whole new property or really new game. And so, like, I'm just going to scrub this really quickly because I want to make sure that, like, I'm not speaking out of turn here. But, like, yeah, like, Valhalla, Hyperscape, the Rainbow Six Siege, shout out. Oh, Elite Squad, that weird game that I still don't know what the heck that is. Like, I don't know if that's, like, Fortnite or Team Fortress. I don't know what that is. I'm going to have to do some internet looking because I don't know what that is. If any of you know what that is, like, let me know. But I don't know what that is. The Might and Magic thing, which I completely forgot. Yeah, and then they kicked it off with Watch Dogs Legion. So, like, that's the shebang. So, I don't know, guys. Like, at the end of the day, I'm not sure where I am. I'm not overwhelmed. I don't want to say that I'm underwhelmed, because that's unfair. You know, the environments in the Assassin's Creed game and the environments in Hyperscape as well as the Far Cry game, looked absolutely stunning. It wasn't clear all the time, like, which hardware that was running on. There were a couple of times where I thought that a game was running on Xbox, and the majority of the time I think it was on PS4, but, that Elite Squad game, I don't know, that could be Switch. Again, I'm going to have to look this up, but I definitely don't, have a lot of things that, I'm take my money now. When I end this stream, there isn't anything from that briefing that I'm going to go and pre-order. And that includes the Far Cry game. And that's just because I got plenty of time to pre-order that sucker because it ain't coming out until February of 2021. And at that point, I'm probably going to have an Xbox Series X to run it on. That is a nice segue into the piece with Phil Spencer from Xbox. Was interesting as far as, talking about Ubisoft and their support of smart delivery. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on our podcast or in any of the things that we've written so far or shared on our social. I don't think that I have, because I haven't done a lot of talking about games. In case you didn't know, I'm a major gamer, in that I like games. Also, I like anime. I like anime too. But I have moved in the last really 2 years to strictly digital downloads of games, with the exception of the stuff that I pick up on my Switch. And that's just because, one, it's been hard for a long time to get micro SD cards large enough to hold a bunch of games on the Switch. And their cartridges are so small that they're easy to manage. But I don't buy disc-based games unless I'm getting a collector's edition that I really don't have any way other to get the collectibles than to get the entire package that has the disc and all the collectible stuff that I want. The last 3 collectibles that I've picked up, they're all pieces that I bought the digital game as well as the collector's edition. And the digital version is the one that I played, and the one that was in the collector's edition is on display either here or in my office, actually, at my day job, on display there to beef up my general nerdery. But I like the idea of, and it's something that Grand Theft Auto 5 did, the Rockstar team did, because the game was coming out right at the time that the next-gen consoles were coming out, was that they said, hey, you've already bought this game kind of at the end of life of this system, so if you do purchase a new system, you can actually get the game on your new system at no additional cost. I think in the digital space where we live right now, that makes a lot of sense. And that's something that, is not only good for the consumer, but it's also good from the brand perspective in the loyalty that you'll build on your platform. Because when I know that if I buy a game right now from any of Microsoft Studios, or, just to switch this over and we play, on the Sony side of the world, it'd be great to know that if somehow, some way, there was an announcement next month that there would be a new God of War game and that it was coming out holiday of this year, it would be great to know that buying that game, if I pre-ordered it right now, which the only thing I could pre-order it for would be PlayStation 4, because the 5 hasn't actually launched yet, and we don't have yet a date for when the PS5 will be released. It'd be great to know that if I pre-ordered that game right now, that if it was announced that the PS5 was coming in October, when I picked up my PS5 and I turned it on in December when the God of War game was actually coming out, I would be able to get the best version of the game, which would be the PS5 4K, 8K, whatever the hell it does, crazy ass version on my machine without having to pay any more money, because I already bought the game and I bought it digitally. You know, I think that with digital distribution, when you have really good bandwidth, that shouldn't be a barrier to you playing games that you bought it for the last gen console. You know, I don't necessarily, you know, think that because I bought it for the last gen console that I don't need to pay anything for it on the new gen. I do think that, you know, because I know how much work went into building that game for the new console, what crunch culture is like and going through, I do think that there should be, you know, some kind of minimal fee for like, hey, you bought this on last gen and that was 7 months ago, and now you have this new guy, so for $20 you can now get the dope improved version to play on your system, as opposed to doing the backwards compatibility version, if we have it, to play your old version on the new system. So it's kind of a sticky wicket, and that's one of the reasons why I, you know, really appreciate smart delivery with the Xbox team right now. I think that once we get into the next gen consoles and see what games are going to be available and exactly how back compatibility is going to come into play, then I'll have a more definitive thing. But yeah, nothing makes me go take my money right now. Not a damn thing with the Ubisoft Forward. And I won't say that I'm underwhelmed, but I'm not crazy excited about anything that I saw. And that's a weird place to be in with a developer and a publisher that I, you know, has a lot of franchises that I love. As I said, Assassin's Creed is like one of my favorite franchises on the planet. I would say it's not top 5, but it's very close to top 5. The Assassin's logo is something that I would have tattooed upon my body if I was allowed to have tattoos. But yeah, kind of meh. I'm kind of meh about it. Like, there were a couple of things that were excited, but otherwise, like, kind of meh about it. Love to know what you think about it. Like I said, you can hit us up on our socials. You can find us at facebook.com/blackandpat. You can find us on Instagram, instagram.com/blackandpat. And don't be surprised, you can find us on Twitter, also at blackandpat. We'd appreciate follows across all of those things. We'd also appreciate follows here on our Twitch channel. We are working towards a goal. It's ambitious, but we'd like to get to 100 followers on our channel by the end of the month. Sure, we didn't start the channel until last month, and that was over on Mixer, so we haven't really been on Twitch for a long period of time. But you know what? You gotta swing, okay, for the moon, and hope that you fall amongst the stars. So that's what we're swinging for. Help us get to our goal at the end of the month. We'll also have another follower goal next month. Like every month we're going to have follower goals. That's what we going to do. I'm going to talk about them here on our wind downs. We can talk about other stuff too. You know, I know I've been talking about gaming stuff for a long while. But I have fun doing that briefing and doing reaction. So I'm going to react to more stuff. Like I said, Microsoft is due to have their live experience. I can't remember what they were calling it or if they've given it an official name yet or not. But their stream is happening July 23rd, I believe, at 9 a.m. Pacific. So that would be noon Eastern, which is my time zone. And now that I think I've got the handle and have worked out the quirks with the audio and things like that, I think I may give it a try to actually react to that live. So we'll see. But once I make a determination, which I'll decide that in the next couple of days, if I am going to do a reaction to that live, we'll make sure that we promote it on our socials so you can find it. I think we'll hopefully by this weekend have worked out like the auto notify so that the moment that we do go live on a channel, it'll send out a message on our Twitter and our Facebook so you can get the link and go right to the content. If I don't do a live react, I will, as far as like when it's happening live, be doing this at the same time. If I don't do that, I will definitely do it later in the day around my normal 7 p.m. time. And you can join me in the chat and we can, chat about games and stuff. I will say that many of the wind downs are probably going to involve talking about games or talking about anime or like news that's floating around the sphere of those two things. So if it's not your bag, that's cool. I get it. But if you want to come by, chat, just say hi, what's up? Let me know that you came by and throw it out in chat that, hey, I followed, and get, the respect and the shout out. I'll definitely appreciate that. But like I said, the wind down is just, a chill time to hang out and wind down your Wednesday. Maybe have, just a nice voice in your ear letting you know that you did a really good job today. It wasn't easy. Getting through the day is never easy, but you tried your best. You did your best. And that's really good. And that's all anybody can ask for, really. So, I don't really have anything else lined up to share tonight. I was hoping that I actually would have like some music that wouldn't get me stricken. But trying to go through the list is like really difficult. So we're going to spend some time over the next couple of weeks and actually go and get our hands on some licensed music. I've been looking at a couple of platforms. If you have any recommendations for ones that we should look at, hit us up on any of our socials and let us know or message us. I mean, you could send a friend request, but really follow us on Twitch. I think we're going to go with Artist.io just because they seem to have a really good library of stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much like what we're going to do. So I'm going to try to put together, some super chill playlists for our wind downs. Because sometimes, we just going to chat over some music, baby. And that'll be cool. I'm looking forward to that. So hopefully I can get that lined up really quickly. And hopefully, especially if we hit our goal, because of you guys, you amazing folks, hopefully we'll also be able to actually start having some cool things and interactivity in the chat itself. So we'll be able to have emotes and you guys can use bits and I can actually like put together the little things like when you send your little emojis and whatever that they'll show up on the screen and stuff, so you can interact with us that way and support us and subscribe to the channel. We can make that affiliate hurdle one that we clear like an Olympian, which would be dope. Be super dope. But I think I'm going to end the stream here. I hope that you've had fun joining me for the wind down this Wednesday. Next Wednesday, I don't know what the focus of the wind down is going to be yet. We'll figure it out. But I look forward to seeing you then. As always, I'm Ro from Black and Pat. And remember, always and, never or. And stay hydrated. Also, today would be a good day to arrest the men that killed Breonna Taylor.